So in addition to Establish and Sons, the Work Cafe, which is very funky if I do say so myself this year, is really celebrating the partnership with Vicarbe. Vicarbe was a very early Steelcase brand partner added to the group, and it recently has been acquired by Steelcase. So what that means is now that Steelcase has access to the entire Vicarbe portfolio, and it's going to be a really exciting partnership. We actually have a event coming to you in July that you'll be getting invites about, a night in Valencia, a little bit of tapas and Spanish wine, and the team from Vicarbe is going to be there. What you're seeing behind me is a modular soft seating collection called Savina. It has really awesome integration with tables, and you can't really see this here because it's kind of a little bit of a close-up, but it has fantastic, really sleek power as well. It is very soft. It is very comfy. After a long day at NeoCon, I'm kind of sad to have to get up out of it. It has fantastic finishes. I wanted to actually take you over to one particular part of it. So Savina also comes with an option that is fully sustainable. So inside this, the substrate of this material is actually 100% recycled mattress parts. And this fantastic finish, which is, I wish you could be here and pet it with me. It is so soft. It feels like just a very luxe raincoat. It is actually made from recycled materials as well, and trash that's been taken out of the ocean. So we're really celebrating a lot of fantastic sustainability here with Steelcase at NeoCon this year. I would be remiss not to give a little bit of a shout out to the lights. So in several of the shots that are going to be panned here, you're going to see a lot of lighting partners, Tom Dixon, Floss, Moy, in addition to a lot of really great statement rugs, which I know you're also enjoying in the Work Better Lab in Philly as well. I'm going to walk a little bit to my left to show you another piece. So what we have here behind me is another piece from Established and Sons. This piece is called Island, and it actually has the ability to be infinitely long and infinitely wide. There's integration with backrests, both upholstered and wood seating, as well as tables that can be integrated in between cushions as well as on the end. And of course, it has a really, really sleek power integration at the bottom here, making this an entirely functional space. So I'm going to kind of allow Mike to pan the full unit so you get its breadth. We're also really celebrating in this space this year is plants. I'm sure you've noticed that in the Work Better Lab as well. We spent so much time at home and so much time with the ability to get easily out into nature that it's so important to bring that back into the office. I want to show you a couple of pieces that are a little bit further on the end of the showroom. So Mike is going to continue to pan the camera. I'm going to very briefly mute my audio, and I'll see you at the Steelcase work tent. Actually, do you have any questions before I go over there? Okay.
Thank you.
If you do have one, again, Beth is hooked up to let us know. All right, see you at the work tent.
You did a good job to show this year. It's great. Thomasina, one of the things they're going to try and look into is the new West Elm.
I would love to see that.
They said it looked phenomenal.
I would love to see that. So Steelcase, we have a partnership with West Elm, and they've taken some of the West Elm pieces and made them healthcare.
Could you imagine like West Elm designs, but for rated for healthcare?
But able to get in and out of the chair with someone who just had a hip replacement, you know?
Right.
You know, and that's what we've done, and I'm so excited to see it because it was under lock and key.
Hi everyone, here I am at the work tent. I'm sure you noticed in the Work Better Lab in Philly that we have the actual tent version of this. I absolutely love this canopy and the way that it sits over this ancillary setting. I don't know if you've noticed or you can hear, but as I've stepped in here, the sound has gotten so much airier and so much lighter. This is a fantastic place to pop for a little bit of collaboration, a little bit of heads down work, and a little bit of social time as well. And as Mike pans a little bit into the garden space, you'll notice the way that Steelcase is really, really, truly embracing the outdoors, bringing the outdoors in as much as possible, whether that is windows and natural light and glass, to plants, to moss walls, even to textures on particular furniture pieces. What you're seeing here is a lot of fantastic partnership lines. Again, really embracing the Bicarbe relationship here as they are a newly acquired, expanded partnership. Mike's now panning to the Work Cafe. You're seeing Bicarbe, Coalesce, and Mariachi seating in a very eclectic mix here. This has been a very popular spot to sit down and get a charge during the show. Next, we're going to take you to Steelcase Health. There's actually going to be several fantastic Steelcase experts who are going to join us along our way. So I'm actually going to mute my microphone. Mike is going to follow you there, and you're going to hear from Michelle at Steelcase Health.
I love that.
Yeah, that road is amazing.
Right?
It's gorgeous. Right.
We freeze?
What is that ceiling thing?
Oh, no. It's a good question. I'll ask them.
But I never had
Yeah,
to
it smells like a good spring.
It's really on
Oh,
there.
no, come on. Oh, no.
No. My hotspot will work. Oh, they turned it off for a second. They'll turn it right back on. Is it? Yeah.
She's in transit.
We're picking it back up in just a minute.
You don't want to get trees in this. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very sweet.
We did a tour earlier and we were, I mean, you guys saw it. Like we jumped around from a bunch of spots. And when we did, they quickly turned off the camera and then popped on spots. Here we go.
All right. So welcome to everybody. We're so glad that you can join us remotely and share with us what we have to showcase here at NeoCon 2022. So we are in the Steelcase Health space, and we are going to show you in about 10-15 minutes so many of those products that we're very excited to feature here at the show. My name is Michel Noafo. I'm the Steelcase Health Director for the Eastern region of the US. So if we could, I would like to start on the front towards what we have over there. So as we walk towards the front, what I'm going to share with you are some of the main themes that we want to make sure that we featured here at the show. We want to make sure that we design beautiful healthcare spaces and environments, beautiful spaces that are appropriate for health. We also want to make sure that we think about different type of groups, different populations. So we want to be very inclusive in what we do. And then we want to think about some of the trends around with health systems, where you want to make sure you don't forget to care about the caregivers. So those are the main three themes that we have designed and we thought about. And when we look at the space, you'll see how we've been able to bring that to life. So right now you're looking at In Bold. That is part of the welcoming space. It is featuring the In Bold with a high back and with all the known features from In Bold. The more important part that I want to feature and I want to show with you is the introduction from Steelcase Health that we partner with West Elm. So we took 4 product lines from West Elm and we modified them so that they are appropriate for healthcare environments. The one I have my hand on is Sterling. You have three more. You have slope, you have mesa, and you have Lucas. Starting with Sterling, we've made very slight adjustments that are not noticeable to your eye, but are very important for healthcare providers. We have reduced the recline, so it's easier to get in and out of the chair. We added a crumb sweep, so you can easily clean it as required by the healthcare providers. We have provided healthcare fabrics that are able to withstand the very high use and high cleanability of the chair. We've changed the legs from wood legs to metal legs. And why did we do that? We know that in healthcare environments today, they are moving away from wood. They prefer to have metal to avoid the possibility of moisture accumulating and bacteria to grow. And we also have tested them like we do with our chairs. So this chair here can withstand 300 pounds. So it's very strong. And when we move over to slope, I'll show you that we also have a bariatric version in the slope line, which will be tested to 600 pounds. Okay, so this is for Sterling. Oh, and then also you can have options with arms, without arms. So this one is without arms. And you can also have different legs. You can have conference chairs. Okay. If we turn around, you'll be able to see, and I'm trying to stay within range here. This is part of the other product line from West Elm for Health. So this is slope. This is the stool version. We'll show you in a minute the chair. Like the others, they've been modified. So we have fabrics that are very appropriate for healthcare spaces. We've reduced the recline, again, tested to 300 pounds, and you have a number of options, including with and without the arms, and you have also the conference chairs that are available in here. If we continue and walk over here with the intention of having very warm and welcoming spaces, we also have Mesa. Mesa, as I was telling to some of the people that have visited us earlier, it's amazing how it looks like a typical living room in a house. It doesn't make you think about being into a hospital or healthcare space. Why? Because it's so warm and the way it's been designed. So Mesa, very popular West Elm piece. But again, like the rest, we test it so that it's not just comfortable. And when I sit on it, you can tell I'm very relaxed, very comfortable in my seat. But we've added some features that are important. I mentioned the crumb suite. You do have the crumb suite on this also. And then you have a number of options. You can have different pieces. This is an ottoman that can be by itself. You can get this piece with no arms. You can get the arm on the left. You can get the arm on the right. And then you can adjust and adapt based on the needs for your spaces. You also have a wide variety of fabrics that can go with that. And then finally, within the West Elm, the last piece I want to talk to you about is the iconic Lucas. Lucas has been with West Elm for a long time, and it's been extremely popular. It's been so popular, it's so iconic that they ask us not to change anything. So unlike the other pieces, this has not been changed. The only thing that we do on here is to add fabrics that are appropriate for healthcare spaces. But as you can tell, when you sit in it, it's just so comfortable that you can imagine it not everywhere, but where appropriate. An example would be a doctor's office where you want to have a one-on-one consultation. Okay? So those are the main introductions when it comes to having warm, welcoming spaces. Do we have time to see more than that? Okay, so I'll take you to another room where we'll show you some of the enhancements we've made. I talked about caring for the caregivers earlier. Well, we're showing in a separate room how you can have respite area so that the doctors, the clinicians, the nurses, they have a space where they can rest, relax after having a very long day. So we'll walk that way. So the space is is being used right now. But if you get closer, if you tell me if you can see it. So there are a number of things I want you to be aware of. People are going into it right now, but you can see in the far corner. You can see in the far corner. What you can see is the surround sleeper unit, to which we've made some improvements. So what did we do to the surround unit? We have added the ability to increase the sleeping surface so that if you use it to rest, you have more than just the size of the frame to be able to sleep on. We've added some casters. So although it's really high off the ground, it's much easier. It's much easier to be able to clean under it and to move it if you want to. We've added casters in the front, in the back. You have locking casters and non-locking casters. And on the right-hand side, in addition to surround, we're showing our empath recliner. The empath recliner in the corner in gray, that's a recliner that normally comes with ice skin arms. It's plastic arms. We have a fully upholstered version. You have metal legs. You have rounded edges in the back, on the front of the seat, and on the rest of the corner. And then by doing that, I'm making it much warmer, much more welcoming for those that want to get some rest. So you can see this in the respite area. You can see this in the mother's room. You can see it in some cases, maybe in the retirement homes. So those are some major introductions and improvements we've made to the very popular line. Okay. So I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to very quickly take you through the spaces. As we walk out, the last thing I want to share with you will be with pediatrics. I mentioned that we want to be very inclusive. As we walk away, I'll just point to you in these spaces over here. We are featuring some pieces from our partner Smith System, where we've again selected a few that will be appropriate for healthcare spaces. So you have the Flowform rocker, you have the Flowform storage unit, and then we're incorporating an existing piece from our Bold range, which we saw at the beginning, but we have really brought it to life with vibrant colors that will be matching such a space. So I want to thank you so much for joining us virtually and finding out what we have to offer here in the Steelcase Health space. And I hope that if you have any questions, you can share them with the rest of the team. We'll be more than happy to add to what I'm sharing here. Okay? All right. Thank you.
Up in here. All right, everyone. So we are going to turn off the camera, but you will hear my voice. So that's not creepy at all. But as we walk, I am going to take us into the main Steelcase showroom. And when we're in our Steelcase showroom, I want you guys to think about this idea of the neighborhoods. So previously, we've talked about neighborhoods in a way where we've kind of segmented them by color. So each set of workstations was getting a neighborhood. They would each get their own printer. They would each get their own little like amenity spaces. And we kind of treated them equally. Now we're really focusing on this concept of neighborhoods in a way that thinks of the more residential neighborhood. So each neighborhood is going to get a place that replicates a home. So we've got a home office that is a little bit more private. We've got a home workstation. We've also got a place that's a little bit more like a cafe. So a place where you can work and focus, but it's not as private. And then we've also got ideas like the garden that Amanda talked about, really thinking about places where people can go to really replicate the home environment that we've been living in for the past few years, and now bringing that to work. So I'm going to hand it over to Tim, who's going to talk about some of those spaces in detail, and we will get started.
That should join it.
Hey, everybody at home. Welcome from Chicago. So I am lucky enough to be able to talk about one of my favorite collections from Steelcase. That's the Flex collection. So as people are coming back into the office, they're looking for a place where it can give them the flexibility of posture and then also the changeability of being able to have a more private space to a more open space. So we have an entire line of product that will help support that collaboration within the office, that change and that flexibility. So we're going to start off with a great vignette that we've been working with all day long, and that is our Flex Active Frame set and table. So we have the Flex Active Frame. This is a great kind of boundary or lineage of space to be able to divide up a space and also support different interactions. So you have storage and you have open cubbies that you can design with all of your favorite tchotchkes and really make it look more like a home setting within the office. So over here, we have the Flex Power collection as well. So if you haven't interacted with this yet, this has got to be one of the most popular things at the show. Everybody is walking around with these. This has USB C and A capability, and it will last you outside of the charger for about 8 hours worth of workday. And then you can easily put it back on this tray and it'll charge overnight for you. But it charges the phone fast, it charges your laptop fast, it's great flexible power. You don't have the need for cord drills throughout the office. You could simply come in, grab one of these, sit it on the surface you're working at, plug in your phone, laptop, and it'll supply that power for you. It's awesome. Very powerful. No pun intended. Within this collection, you have different spaces, storage, open and closed. You can hang the display on here, so you have the monitor, so you have the media, you have the separation of space. You have, on this particular one, you have some tackability. And like I said, a great open space here to be able to design it and make it look a little bit more residential, a little bit more homey. Mike, if you come up and join me over here, we're going to show another Flex workspace. So we'll let, hi again. Thanks, Mike. This is another Flex workspace that we have here. This is great for teams. You can take this height adjustable table, you can see here, and it has this great shroud that attaches to the top of it. This allows you some flexibility in terms of light control. You can have this handy dandy name tag that you can place on here. I'm on a call, I'm free, however you want to mark that up. Like I said, this is height adjustable. Another really kind of thing about this particular product is that it's on wheels. So the base itself has a caster that's built into the leg of the table itself. So you can wheel this to a different area within the office. If you have a different product launch, you're working with a different team, this will travel for you. The nice thing is when you're standing at it, it will not move front to back. And you have this great shroud. This will help absorb the sound. This is the tufted version, so you have that high aesthetic. Just a great way to be able to have a team working environment within the office. So I'm going to circle around Beth here, show another personal Flex workspace. Do you mind if I? No, it's okay. So I enlisted Beth for this help. So she's going to move this around. So this is an environment that we're actually getting back at home in the Work Better Lab soon. Should be in sometime this month. So this is a great location to perch at. You can work with the work surface, it's height adjustable. If you want to be a little bit more open and with the team, you have that capability. And then you can also move this work surface if you need to be on a video call or if you'd like to have a little bit more heads down working environment. You can move this table very easily and shift it into a different position where now, if I'm in this position, I could maybe talk to my partner across the way. I'm also shrouded from the left and right-hand side here. And then with another shift here, Now I'm able to absorb the sound a little bit more with this higher shroud, has the built-in light to it. It's just a very flexible workspace, highly functional, very high performing, lots of choice and control. That's what we want when we get back in the office. Thanks, Beth. So we're going to walk through the showroom a little bit further here. We're showing some more of the Flex active frames, Flex active work table.
Thanks, John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have the Flex acoustical panel. So this is really great. This will hold your whiteboard. So this is a whiteboard that can easily flip out. You can move right on it and then simply put it back in, lock it back into place for you as easy as this.
You actually.
So we speak about choice and control, being able to be out in the open, but also with the use of these screens, you can divide the space up. You can get a little bit more privacy, open it up very easily to be in a collaborative setting. So you have one more Flex active kind of workspace over here. We have the standing height. So someone can choose to be on the stool, or they can be at this table standing. So you can collaborate very easily. If there's a presentation going on, I could easily join that presentation, and without much disturbance, I could walk away and still have the presentation going on. And then with our Microsoft partnership that we have this great screen here. This will allow us to be able to annotate on the screen. You can easily change from a virtual whiteboard into a video that you have over here. So great technology within the workspace. We know how important that is more than ever now. So thank you very much for your, thank you. Oh, thank you guys. Do you guys have any questions for me before I pass it on to our product specialist that's going to talk about a very exciting new wall product that we have? I'm not getting any cues, so that is great, and I will pass it over. We're going to pass it over to Larry. Okay, we're going to pass it over to Larry from Steelcase to talk a little bit about Everwall.
Okay, great.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Okay.
You're live, Larry.
All right. Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Bealey. I'm part of the architectural category. So I'm going to talk about Everwall. I don't know if you guys can show this video, but what we have is this. Our Everwall product is it's a product that's kind of fits in between our VIA and our privacy wall product. It is a unitized product, so it goes together very fast. We can do a multitude of different things from skins, segmentation. It will go floor to ceiling, 10-foot ceilings up to 10 foot. We do a lot with our sliding glass doors from an adjustability standpoint. So the doors are set up so that they're very flexible for floor spaces that may be a little out of level. It's as you can see, we're showing some of the sliders there. This product is meant to not only delight designers and customers, but also delight installers, because one of the things that we look at on this product is a third of wall install price is labor. And if we can cut that labor down, we're really doing some really great things. So what you're seeing in this video now is actually our ceiling track goes up, and as you can see that the frames just lock into the ceiling track. It comes with the base and the levelers on it, and you stand those up and you level them and put them in place. And then comes in the door frames, of course, and then we start putting in our panel connectors, frame connectors that attach these all together. So you're kind of seeing how the base works. Then our skins go on. They're very it's a latch system, so it snaps into place. There's not any kind of wires that you have to tuck behind the skins. when you go to remove the skins, we can use a suction cup system, pull the skins off and be able to make them easily removable. The door frames for our swing doors also have a truck system in it. So we actually make those so that the trucks are adjustable and we can set the undercut of the door no matter what's going on in the floor. And that comes from the factory so that the first piece of trim that you put on there sets that dimension for you and then makes it so that it's easy for you to place your doors and have the hinges and so forth in the right spot. So we're going to go down and look at some of the wall system. Here is the one of our conference rooms with the wall. You're seeing a little bit of the sliders and some of the performance. If we walked into this room, you would actually feel we have a lot of people that just are really pleased with the acoustical performance of it. It's very quiet when you go into the room. So we have 1/4-inch glass, we have 3/8-inch glass or 1/2-inch glass on our frame kits, and then we can do 3/8-inch glass on our capture kits. We have 1/2-inch glass doors or 3/8-inch glass doors. Everything has been developed with a drop seal and seals around all 4 sides so that you get a good acoustical performance. From a standpoint of install time frame, we're less than 3/4 of an hour linear foot to install. And then to make changes in a customer space, we can take and make those changes in 6 minutes a linear foot, which is pretty impressive. So that kind of gives you a very quick overview of Everwall. I think you're going to like it. And thanks for your time.
Thanks so much, Larry. That was fantastic. I know when I saw Everwall during my first tour here at NeoCon, it blew my mind. One of the things that blew my mind about it was how pretty it is. If you join me over here in this area, what you're seeing behind me is all of the beautiful Lux finishes that Everwall comes in. So they actually match all the finishes, all the Lux finishes on the Carmen chair. So I don't know about you, but I would love to have lavender wall systems in my office. So I think this is one of the most exciting parts about Everwall, in addition to all the fantastic information that Larry shared as well. And one thing that Corporate Interiors can do with you, if you'll notice, this is all magnetized. We can really create custom magnetized branded skins to your space to include in Everwall. So I'm going to talk a little bit about private offices. Just one thing to note as we're going through, everything that you're seeing, the demising walls, everything from the whiteboard to the veneer to the fabric, all of that is Everwall. So just keep that in mind as we keep going. So Mike's going to pan the camera a little bit to show some of the other beautiful ancillary pieces we have here. I think we have Carve, Bolia, Blue Dot, Moy, West Elm, Established and Sons, Tom Dixon, you name it, we have about 60 partners now. I'm actually going to sneak over here. The big thing I want you to think about as we walk through a couple of different private office settings, and yes, private office is still going to be a big part of even the hybrid workplace. I want you to think about multimodal, and I want you to think about vertical plane. So every space that you are going to see in here has an I designated space, but also has some type of meeting space. So it's an idea that a couple different things. A, I may not have an owned office in my space. I may be able to pop in and reserve an office for a day. Or I may have an owned office, but I may be working part-time from home as well. And I want people to be able to use my office when I'm not here to meet as well. So you'll see all the technology integrated. So this is really set up to be a multimodal meeting space. One thing you may see popping up on the screen right to the left of me is some images of Calcon. Halcon was a recent acquisition by Steelcase. We're very excited. They won Best in Show for their helm chair. I mean, sorry, not chair, helm table. So we have been sending people up to their showroom all day long. So we're going to go look at a couple other offices now. This is a bit less executive, a lot more airy. Again, think about how this vertical plane is really, really activated here. The vertical plane is really important because offices are shrinking a little bit. I'm not really going to pause here because you can see this in our Work Better lab. But this is Mackinac. She's beautiful. And this is actually where we're going to end in this space for a little while before Beth blows your mind with another very exciting introduction that's been the talk of NeoCon. So one thing about this space, it's casual, it's comfortable, it's residential, it's bringing classics like Coalesce together with partners like Blue Dot and Moy and Bicarbe. It's fully technological. I don't have to go into that story for you here because you're at a Work Better lab that has a lot of the technology, and I'm sure Josh will bend your ear off about it if you let him while you're there. So we're actually going to take the camera off, and we're going to meet you over in a very exciting part of our space. So thanks so much, guys.
All right, so we've been giving you a lot of information about research and research-backed design and all of these solutions that are research-based. Now we're coming into a space where we are going for design's sake. So you'll see we're about to pop up the video. We just saved you all the all the scrambling to get here, but so about 80 years ago, Frank Lloyd Wright designed the S.C. Johnson building. And in that building, if you know anything about Frank Lloyd Wright, you'll know that not only does he design the building and the space, but he designs all of the details of the furniture that goes in it. So the owner of S.C. Johnson knew the owner of Steelcase, and they asked if we would be willing to fabricate designs based on Frank Lloyd Wright's designs. We did that, and so we wore the furniture that was put into that building 80 years ago. We are now reintroducing that collection with Frank Lloyd Wright with the Racine signature desk and signature chair. So I will hop into this so that you can see what this chair looks like. So you'll notice it's a very retro feel, and also it's a little bit retro in its ergonomics. So we have the ability to move and flex, but you'll notice that it's not quite up to our task seating standards. However, what you will also notice is that the collection is authentic in terms of its coloring and its fabrics. So Design Techs went in and actually made fabrics that are going to look like the fabrics that they used in the Racine collection 80 years ago. You'll also notice small detail. This is down to the design details of Frank Lloyd Wright. Pull this chair out here. Oh, maybe not. There we go. So you'll be able to see how this drawer was coming out here. So something that's fun, a nice little signature statement for your buildings. Probably not something that you're going to be talking about for a lot and for a mass planning, but just something fun nonetheless. You can also see all of the colors here. So all of these are using our color match technology, and that is all based on the originals from Frank Lloyd Wright's collection. And then lastly, something that I think is super cool is this chair right here. So this chair is a part of the collection that will be coming. This chair is something that was never built. It was only ever drawn by Frank Lloyd Wright himself. So we had all of the drawings. So we went back into those archives and we have created this chair for the first time. So this will be coming, and this will be the first time it's ever in production. So something super fun, something design oriented, something with a rich history of between Steelcase and the Frank Lloyd Wright Foundation, and we're able to bring it to you now. So that concludes our tour. Come on in, friends. I know we talked about, I haven't heard any questions so far, so I'm sorry if I missed it. But after we've now just given you the full tour, are there any questions from your side? I'd love to know if there's anything stuck out, anything exciting. What do you guys think?
It's all exciting.
It's all exciting, says Josh.
Thank you.
Beth, Amanda, Tim, thank you guys so much.
There were several awards this year given to Steelcase and Steelcase brand partners, and you should have several of those pieces here to take a look at. And by here, I mean with you, not with me. The space to take a look at while you're there. So there is the Tenor chair, which won gold. It's a new education chair. There is a Moby, which won a Best of NeoCon and also a HIP award. There's a Carmen chair, which won a HIP award as well. Is there anything else I am forgetting? We don't have the Halcon helm there, unfortunately, but maybe coming to you soon. So make sure you take a look at those pieces while you're there and really get to kick the tires of them. So thanks so much for joining us. If there aren't any more questions, we'll let you get back to the party. We appreciate you spending your afternoon with us, and we hope you have a great meal party.